Okay, perfect. Hey everyone, hope you're having a great evening, great morning, wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in. As always, hope you're having a great day. So I actually wanted to do this live stream because I did want to share something that's been on my mind and something that I think is very important to talk about. Now I know that May is typically Mental Health Awareness Month, but this is something that was brought to my attention honestly yesterday, and I do want to share it because I still think whether it's May or another month, discussing mental health is important. And I think it's just important to discuss. I think it's important to spread that awareness because I think it's a big issue that we continue to have in our society. According to the World Health Organization, an estimated 300 million people are affected by depression. But the reason why I bring this up, though, is 2 days ago, I actually I have a friend in the UK. His name is Matt, and we've been friends for quite a few years now. As a matter of fact, we got even closer when one of our good friends, about a year, actually last July, had taken his own life. And honestly, we had actually never met. We met through him. His name was Randy. And the reason why I think it's so important to discuss this is we didn't expect this. We didn't anticipate it. We didn't know anything. For reference, Randy he wanted to be a big YouTuber, and I found him, I think, through like Blog TV or something like that, where he was promoting his YouTube videos. And he got a little bit of a, and little did we know behind the scenes, though, that he was not happy. Little did we know behind the scenes that what he was putting up was a mask. And I think as many of you can relate, on social media, you can put up whatever you want. You can share whatever you want. And people will not know the difference whether you're happy or sad. And we didn't know that he was secretly in the background suffering. And last year, it was like, I think, July-ish, my friend Matt messaged me and he's like, "Did you see this on the news? This is horrible." And he not only took his life, he took some other people's lives with him. And I don't want to dwell on the details here and there, but it's just as like, it shook me. And as much as I am a positive person, and I love to be positive, I love to spread the positivity to all you guys as well here. I make sure that part of my mission is to make social media a more positive place. I think it's also important, though, to also discuss the other sides of it as well, too, that the negatives, the things that are still ongoing. And mental health, again, is so important because had we had both known what he was going through, or had we had a bigger indication, we both would have done something about it. And yeah, he's no longer here with us, and it's yesterday he would have turned 26 years old. And secretly behind the scenes, he was very insecure about himself. He didn't feel like he was getting a lot of attention that he wanted on social media. He honestly was struggling with his own gender. He actually secretly, privately identified as transgender. And if he had told any of us his stuff, I would have told him, it's like, people can relate to this. You're not alone. But he chose to keep it quiet because he knew that we would question. He knew that we'd be worried. And so, again, not to dwell on that, but to say, though, that how important mental health is. If you know anyone, or if anyone ever needs to reach out, whether it's to me or someone else, I want to let you know that I am an open door, because I don't believe anyone needs to suffer in silence. You shouldn't have to feel that way. I feel like society, we need to be very accepting and more open, and not be afraid to be vulnerable with each other and see it as a weakness to be vulnerable. Me opening up and being vulnerable about myself has literally affected my life in many ways. And I admit right now I'm kind of getting I'm aware of a little bit of tension within my body right now, but I think it's because this topic is a little bit difficult for me to discuss, let alone Randy, because I don't typically talk about it, because it's just a very again, it's gonna be very emotional for me. But if you know anyone, and again, I am happy to be an outlet, or if anyone wants to speak with me or someone else, or if you are thinking or even remotely thinking of these thoughts or even thinking depressed or suicidal, talk to someone. This is not an uncommon thing. A lot of people can relate to it. Even I can relate to it at parts of my life. There were parts when I had felt so depressed that I didn't even have the capacity to move my arms. And that was quite a few years ago, and I've come a long way since then. So, I mean, of course, no one would know all this stuff about me if I didn't just say it here right now, but I've been there. I'm not here to say I'm perfect. I'm not here to say I was always positive. And for those of you who know me a couple years ago, or even in high school, no, I wasn't this smiley and whatnot. And in many cases, I do that intentionally, though, to make sure it's a positive environment. But this is my chance now to also say, though, too, that as much as positivity that there is out there, there is also some dark spots, too, that we need to address because they happen. And I've also heard the quote, you don't ever get used to death, but you learn how to live with it. And one thing that Randy's life, let alone his death, his suicide, reinforced to me is that reminded me of my own mortality and everyone else's mortality, that life can be short and we should live life to the fullest. Live it with purpose and meaning, with something that fulfills us, not depending on an external circumstance. It's got to come from within. Because for Randy, it was relying on the outside, and he was not happy on the inside. So be there for other people, be an open door, be present, love one another even more than you show today, because it is so important. It is very important. And take care of yourself as well, too. Of course, we have to take care of ourselves, because if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't better help other people. I'm sure you've heard the term, you can't help someone who also won't help himself. But take care of yourself. Like I said, I feel the tension in my body right now, even discussing this, but it's just something, though, that I want to release out there because I think it's an important message. And when I have this platform here to be able to share that, I hope it resonates, whoever is watching this, whether you are feeling depressed, whether someone you know is feeling depressed, that there is always hope and that there is always other options and that there is ways to get through it. And I've gotten through it myself. I was depressed for many, many years of my life, depression, anxiety, and I lived with it. I just settled with it. But there are ways to move forward. Many different types of solutions as well. I'm going to end the live stream here. I'll read the comments afterwards. I just want to take a breather. You guys continue to live life to the fullest and to be positive, and because you never know, whatever actions you do, whatever words you say to another person may mean the world to them. For some, it may be something so little, but for some people, you never know what impact you're going to make just by a single word, a single gesture. It could mean life-saving. You guys have a great evening. Much love. My name is Donald, also known as Nuggets, living to transcend labels. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, wherever you are. Much love. Take care.